Hi guys, this is Christina. Welcome to our new segment called Just a Bit of Banter. Today we're going to be talking about a film we watched a couple weeks ago called North Hollywood. It's an independent skate movie directed by Mikey Alfred. We also did a commentary on that, so make sure you go check out that commentary. And although NoHo is Mikey's directional debut, he is no stranger to filmmaking. He's directed a short TV series called Summer 17, which was uploaded to YouTube, the Cherry Bomb documentary, and a short film titled The Dispute. He was also a co-producer on Mid-90s, but I would argue that the biggest thing Mikey's known for is Illegal Civilization. Illegal Civ for short, and IC for even shorter. IC is a skateboarding company and the self-proclaimed first teen movie studio, which was spearheaded by none other than Mikey Alfred himself. The company/studio literally does everything under the sun: clothing, movies, mini TV shows, YouTube videos, merch in general. I don't like comparing two completely different entities, but if you're struggling to grasp the concept, just think Odd Future, but instead of leaning into music, Illegal Civ leans more into skating and filmmaking. So what does Illegal Civ have to do with NoHo? Well, that's where the movie was cultivated, it was born, it was bred. And the stars of NoHo make up some of the core members. For example, you got Ryder McLaughlin, who plays the titular character Mikey, Nico Haruga plays Jay, and Aramis Hudson plays Adolf. And other Illegal Civ core members can be seen sprinkled throughout the movie, like Sonny Solijic. The movie is loosely based / inspired by Mikey Alfred's real life as a young skater growing up in North Hollywood. That's why the name of the main character is Michael. And yes, you can clearly see that one is black and the other is very much not. But don't worry, we'll get to that. For the sake of the video, we're going to refer to the movie Mikey as Mikey and the director Mikey as Alfred. This review is going to be broken up into 3 different parts. The first part is going to be like what we like, the second part is what we really didn't like, and part 3 is, if you're from Africa, why are you white? That's when we're going to be talking about race and all that good stuff that I know you guys are here for. So Christina, do you kind of want to take the lead on this one? What did you like about the movie? So first off, the scenes with Jay are superior and the only scenes I thoroughly enjoyed. Yeah, I agree. Jay's character is amazing, and his chemistry with, I guess you would say, Nico Haraga's chemistry and Aramis's chemistry is top tier. Like when I was watching the movie, I felt like, yeah, I'm watching 2 dudes who've been best friends since they were like 5. Something I really like about the film is just the way it looks. For example, they've got like a dolly zoom in there. Right after Mikey is told that he can't be an altar server anymore, the scene cuts to him at the skate park and there's like this dolly zoom. Wikipedia basically says that it's commonly used by filmmakers to suggest that a character is undergoing a realization that causes them to reassess everything they had previously believed.
Oh.
Yeah. So I really like the use of the dolly zoom there because that also leans into the coming of age. Like he's really growing up, like time is moving on. He has to,
you know, start thinking about things.
Exactly. You have to start taking life seriously. And I feel like we've all had that moment where we're like, oh snap, bro, life is changing. Like, another thing is that I feel like I sensed a bit of like a Tarantino-esque shot with the carrot when he's eating the meal with his father, and his father's basically like, you keep messing up, this is gonna be your last meal. And the dad tells Mikey to like eat the carrot. Obviously got to talk about the music. The music in the movie is so good.
Music.
The music is so immersive and it always hit just at the right moments. We're going to talk more about the music too when we get to that one particular scene with Adolf and Mikey.
Dude,
when they have their fight. Do we want to talk about it now?
Let's talk about it.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so Mikey gets caught lying again. It was the second time in one day. And so Adolf was like, dude, you're lying again. And Mikey was like, I don't want to be seen around you. Like, you're childish.
And so like the camera focuses on the two kind of just arguing. Then the music fades out and it's completely silent. And you can only hear their 2 voices. It's like isolated. And then he says,
watch yourself around me.
And then music, not from the band, but different music starts playing. I think that was like my favorite part of the whole movie.
Yeah.
Like I really felt like a friendship coming to an end and it was really sad. Okay, what else did you like?
The light-hearted summer type of scenes were like the best scenes. Like the one where they were at like the diner or when they went to the little lake. I thought those are so...
The water balloon fight.
The water balloon
when they were on the hill.
Yeah, those scenes, like I caught myself smiling so hard. I was like, I love these scenes.
And then also just going back into like dynamics, I feel like Vince Vaughn and like Ryder, their chemistry was really good too. It's like father-son duo.
Yeah, it was.
So believable. When we were in the house, like the scenes in the house, I felt suffocated. Like
Yeah.
I felt felt like I couldn't make a sound because I was like, if I do one thing wrong, Vince Vaughn, the dad, is gonna like yell at me or something.
Right.
Now, hopefully this isn't too controversial, but first of all, I want to put a disclaimer. People don't solely exist to be representation. If someone who's not a size 0 posts a TikTok and people in the comments are like, I love the representation you're putting out there for like mid-sized people, and it just kind of feels like a backhanded compliment, you know what I mean? Like
they can't just exist.
They can't just exist, right? But I do have to say, I love the representation that Jay provides as a character. As an Asian character, a lot of the times in American media, they're portrayed as not being desired, they're being less than,
they're
you
the
know.
nerd,
they're
like,
the nerds, right? Or they're just smart, they have no like dimension to them, whatever.
Yeah, it's like they're just the smart kids.
Right, so I just have to say, I feel like Jay provides like that sweet, sweet representation I've been needing for my Asian American boys and girls. I love seeing him have steez. I love seeing him being able to carry himself, being able to dress like he can skate, but he's also smart too. So moving on to what we... Oh, I don't want to say what we didn't like, what we didn't fancy, what wasn't our cup of tea, and what we changed about it. I also want to preface this by saying I'm not going to hold like an independent film to the same standard as, I don't know, like a Hollywood blockbuster. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also this is his directorial debut. He has so much potential. It's only going to go up from here. So we just want to preface this segment by saying that.
So I guess I'll start off by saying the movie was not at all how I thought it would be. Because Tese sent in our little sister group chat, okay, before we watch NoHo, you guys should watch the Summer 17 little... like,
TV miniseries.
Yeah, so I was watching Summer 17. I was like, okay, I love this. I was getting excited. I liked how it was very much just summer boys doing summer things like skating, but there's also a couple trials and tribulations here and there, but it doesn't like take over the whole Summer 17. So whenever it got to NoHo, I was like, oh, this is completely different. This is not at all what I thought it would be. I didn't realize it would focus so much on Mikey. Yeah, I was kind of like, oh no, I was clickbaited.
For me, something that I didn't, not that I didn't really like, but I didn't really understand was the element of what it takes to become a pro skater. Because I did watch an interview with Alfred and he was saying something along the lines of, hopefully when people watch this, they understand what it takes to become a pro skater. But after watching the movie, it left me with more questions than answers. Because in the film, no one uses a phone. And I was wondering, is that a conscious choice? How does that make sense in the world that this movie is taking place in? Because social media is so integral to anything nowadays. That's how you blow up. That's how you get exposure.
True.
So I was like, so do pro skaters not need social media nowadays? All the skaters I see are on Instagram. So that threw me through a loop. So I was like, well, what does it take to become a pro skater? Let's talk about Mikey lying. That was a huge part of the movie. Probably the most important part of the movie was that he was constantly lying.
Bro, that was the plot.
That was the plot, bro. What's the plot of NoHo? Mikey lied. The way that it was conveyed to us was that he doesn't usually do this. Mikey doesn't usually lie. This is a new wedge between his relationship with his father and the relationship with his friends.
He's changing.
Yeah, he's changing. But we, as the audience, never saw a change from A to B. We were always just at B. He had always just been lying when we met Mikey. There was never that gradual change, like, you've really changed. Everyone kept telling Mikey, you changed.
I didn't see a change. Mikey's been a liar.
He's been a liar. He's been lying. You know who did that transition well?
Who?
High School Musical 2. But Troy.
Yes.
But then again, I felt bad because I was like, comparing it to High School Musical 2 is different because they had a whole first movie to establish how good of a friend Troy is, how good of a teammate he is. And you could empathize with Troy.
Yeah.
Because you want for him to go hoop with the college guys. You want for him to worry about his future. But you also want him to not forget about his friends, where he came from. But I couldn't empathize with Mikey the same way that I could empathize with a character like Troy Bolton because Mikey's been a liar. If anything,
I don't want him to be.
I don't want him to be
You
a
don't
pro
deserve
skater.
it. Like, why are you talking to the pro skaters like that? Talking about you scared to fight security guard. Okay, you can stay in NoHo with that.
You can give your ass an hour.
What I put next was there was too many unlikable characters in this movie.
Oh. Who'd you hate?
So obviously Mikey. Adolf, like a lot of the time. Obviously at the end I was like, oh, okay. And then Nolan Knox can't act. I'm sorry, you guys. He just felt like a cameo, really.
Yeah, and you never want to feel like a cameo. It's like the Disney movies where the cameo comes in, everyone's like, woo! And and they're just looking around. And they'll be like, can you tell me where the restroom is? Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh my god, LeBron.
Chris Bosh and Jesse.
Oh my god, Chris Bosh.
My last beef with the movie is such a nitpick that I honestly feel bad about saying it, but to me, costuming, hair, makeup, whatever, it's integral to the film as well. It's really important. So I just want to say Mikey's hair. I feel like Mikey's hair could have told us a story. It's a big part of the movie because obviously it ends up getting shaved. So I'm thinking it would have been nice to see when Mikey's around the pro skaters, when Mikey's around Rachel, when Mikey's around Rachel's dad, his hair's slicked. It's conveying that he wants to impress. He's not really being himself. But when he's with his skate friend and when he's in his home with his dad, it's all over the place. He doesn't care about it. Because I noticed when he was with his friends and it was slicked and I was like, why is his hair slicked at the skate park? Was it because he came from church? But there was other instances.
There was other instances, and it could have been also like, oh, once he got to the skate park, he scruffed it up. That would have been cool to be like, oh, I see.
So that's just a nitpick, but I do love a bit of costuming.
It's a bit of me.
It's a bit of me, really. Okay, so I wrote down the thing that maybe I would have changed is that instead of Adolf being the one to take off his Converse, it would have been Mikey to show that like, oh, bro is really changing because they made such a big deal about it. Like that is what they have done since they were kids. How awesome would it have been for Mikey to kind of be like, oh, to really roll with the pro skaters, I've got to put these childish things away. He was the one complaining about his friends being childish and immature. So I feel like it would have been cool for him to take off the Converse and put on merch shoes that the pro skaters gave him and then be like really clean, really obnoxious. Do you know what I'm saying? So now to get to the bit I feel like people have been waiting for.
Darkies, where are the darkies?
Okay. Obviously in the introduction, you heard that I said this is loosely based / inspired by Mikey Alfred's life growing up in North Hollywood as a teen, as a skater. And then you see who plays Mikey. And that man doesn't look anything like Mikey, does he? Mikey Alfred has reasoning behind why he chose Ryder to play him.
You know, I pitched this movie to everyone. And when people would say, you know, you want a white person to play the version of you, and you want an older white guy to play a version of your dad, it didn't even make sense to them.
And his explanation is basically like, this story, my story transcends race. People will see this movie and they'll know that it can be applied to anyone.
The thought that a black person could take their story and have the perspective to view it as a human story and not let race get in the way, it's really hard for people to understand.
But to me, that doesn't make sense.
That doesn't make sense to me.
I feel like it would have hit harder if you would have had a black main character, because then it really hones in on the idea that this movie does transcend race. Because if you can apply a black person's story to any other race's story, then it's really like, yeah, it's not about the race, it's about the story. How many movies do we have? Millions and thousands and 100,000 millions of movies where we have to watch white people and we have to reflect it onto our own lives. It's not a dying genre. It's not lacking. I don't think white people need that kind of representation. They already have that representation. I can look at Lady Bird. Oh, a young adolescent wants to go her own way in life and she's dealing with a relationship with her parents, her mother. It's basically the same story. This one just has skating in it.
Right.
There's so many movies with white people at the center where it's coming of age. It's them wanting to go their own way but their parents disapproving. Mikey Alfred was also basically saying black people in media, they were always seen struggling. So why in this movie could we have not been seen struggling? Because like, this movie wasn't about slavery. It wasn't about racism. It was about regular stuff that regular people deal with. So why couldn't a black person be at the forefront? If you didn't want to, you didn't have to include any racism. You didn't have to include any nuance like that. It could literally have been the same story centered around a black person and his black father and have it be about that.
Right.
And for once, let white people have to apply that to their lives and black people have some type of representation.
If you would have just made this a regular movie with just the black person at the forefront, it would have normalized just having black people have coming of age movies.
Exactly. Because now it makes me feel like someone told you we need to make this movie more palatable.
Right.
It's making me feel like someone said that.
Yeah.
And I don't like that feeling. If you wanted Ryder to play you, just say that. But don't use the excuse that it transcends race.
I'm doing something different. No, you're not.
You're doing the same
like
thing.
Every other movie.
You're doing the same
Another
thing.
skate movie about white person.
What's new? Mid-90s did it. Skate Kitchen did it. Jay and Adolf, Asian and black. Why couldn't one of them have been at the forefront?
It feels very much like we only exist as people in the background. We only exist as the friends.
Yeah, because let's talk about Rachel's friend, the dark-skinned
who
girl.
had one line.
Why did she not say a single line until the end of the scene? Why did no one talk to her at the diner? Why couldn't she have been the love interest? Why did it have to be
Rachel? And like, what was the thing you said about the shaving the head?
Oh,
Like,
bro, I'm so, because I was about to end this thing. Thank
Nah,
goodness.
nah.
Okay, so like how we talked about with the hair before, the hair was pretty much a big deal in the movie because Mikey's dad shaves his head off because his dad is basically like, that's a mess. You're never gonna get a job with hair like that.
you need to look
You
respectable.
need to look respectable.
That is based on a black person's experience. You could just tell off the bat.
I don't know a single person who's had their head shaved off because they need to look more respectable. Do white people not just get haircuts?
When white people shave their head, they look like criminals. It's not a thing that they do to
do.
look respectable.
Yeah.
Black people, they get a nice lineup. They do a little shavy shave.
And that is a huge thing within the black community. So could you imagine how much that scene would have hit harder if we had a black person as Mikey? And could you imagine their dad being like, it's not respectable, you're not going to get a job like this, and they shave their head off? That would have hit a lot harder because that seems more believable, and that is something that actually happens within the black community.
Right.
And that's nuance you can provide within the movie that provides representation without having to be such a negative thing like racism or this or that. That's something we can look at as a black community and be like, yeah, I can relate. But at the end of the day, I still love the movie. And it's definitely something I will be watching again. And I can't wait for any other thing Mikey comes out with. Also, if anyone from Illegal Civ is watching this right now, put me in the next movie. Put me in the
Make
next
her the
movie.
main character too. Don't put me in that damn movie. I don't want to be associated with any of that. But you better put my sister at the forefront.
Put me
She
in the
better
next
have
movie.
She better have all the lines.
I can't act, but I will learn. I will learn for Illegal Civilization.
Hey, if they can have that Nolan Knox. I know that black girl can act. And they had Nolan Knox out there saying more lines than she had. I'm sick to my stomach. Oh.
Anyway, thank you so much for rocking with us, guys. I always say that. Thank you so
You
much
do,
for rocking
you
with
do,
us.
but it's cute.
Have a good day, evening, night, whatever it is, wherever you are. This was just a little bit of banter, really.
Just a little bit of banter.
Just a little bit of banter. Oh, if you want this style of video more and you made it to the very, very end, let us know if you want more of this.
Like, comment, yes.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And pause.
Little Miss One, going on to G, but it's fun being daddy to you.